Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Stocks and Trading. Grant Zion here. And today we're going to be looking at the most important week when it comes to earnings for this year. We have four of these earning weeks. And yep, this is one of them. And why are they important? Well, if you look closely, you pretty much recognize a lot of these companies. And there's some of the biggest companies in the US economy. These companies can actually derive and tell you how the economy is doing in the USA. So it's a big deal. This week is a big deal. I mean, we got Coca-Cola, Blizzard, UPS, Microsoft, Google, Visa, GE, Boeing, Apple, Twitter, and the list goes on, man. Microsoft, MasterCard, Hertz, really big companies, and I believe, in my opinion, these are some of the biggest companies in their own sectors. All right, so let's get to it. I'm going to talk about a few of the stocks that I'll be really focusing on when it comes to this week, when it comes to trading. And I'll be talking about the stocks that I'll be showing you. I'm going to be talking about UPS, Microsoft. I'll be talking about Hertz, and maybe about Apple and a few other stocks that I understand how they operate. So I like to trade things that I understand, things that I know how they operate on the back end and how they make money. These are the things that I like to trade. If you understand a company, like for example Domino's, you understand how the food industry works and what's going on, and perhaps you want to trade something you understand, like Domino's. If you understand how McDonald's work, and like I said, food industry, you might want to trade that. So yes, guys, I'm just gonna show you my chain of thought, what I'm looking at, what I'm looking for when it comes to trading earnings, and let's just get to it. So first things first, I'm gonna start with Microsoft. So looking at Microsoft here on the daily time frame, you can see that Microsoft had a horrible week last week. It dropped over 10%. Let's just take a look right here. It dropped approximately 12%. And Microsoft, I believe, is the second largest company when it comes to market cap. So Apple is first, Microsoft is second. So it's a massive company. And if you look closely, you'll notice that Microsoft is in actually a really good demand zone. A lot of you don't know what a demand zone or even how to draw it. It's very simple. I know that you guys are familiar with support lines. It's as basic as finding a spot that the stock bounced off, and you would draw a line. Here you go, boom. You find another one. Here's another one. So you can just draw support lines, and here you go. You pretty much have a demand zone. Now I don't care much about these support lines. I'll just draw a box, and this box is telling me that I'm in a good area to buy. So I'm not gonna be very anal when it comes to, oh, it's hitting that little line. I don't really care about that. I care about the zone that we're in. Because as you can see, it doesn't respect precisely exactly that support line that you're looking at. And if it goes under it, you might freak out and quit your trade. You don't want to do that. You want to just draw a beautiful fat box that represents a decent buy zone for the stock. So Microsoft is in a good buy zone. This is where Microsoft likes to bounce off. So this is good sign number one. Good sign number two is the fact that it's dropping really hard before earnings. Now, this is something that I have learned from experience, and it's very simple. I've noticed that if a stock is downtrending towards earning, 60 to 70% of the time, that stock will just go up on earnings. So think of it like this. If the stock is going down before earnings days come, it has a really high chance, over 60%, that it will just go up, even if they actually do kind of bad. That's what I've noticed. So that's confirmation number two. So we have two confirmations. We're in the buy zone, it's going down before earnings. These are two good things. That's telling us that the stock will go up. Now, let's look for another confirmation. I'm going to look at the previous earnings and just decide. Let's just start from July here. And I'm going to only look at what's reported. I don't care about what's estimated. So they reported 2.17, 2.27. So they're growing. 2.48. So the company is just growing. They're growing every quarter. Not massive growth, but they are growing, which is good. Now it's 2.48. Let's see now what's estimated here. 2.19. So Wall Street thinks that they're going to do worse than the earnings before. And if you look closely at Microsoft, they've been doing really well for the past God knows how long, like over 5 years. Every earning they got for the past 5 years is really good. So I can pretty much tell you that they're gonna do good this earnings. And if you guys know anything about Microsoft, Microsoft now is getting into this Microsoft Azure, which is a cloud based service for big companies. And it's been around for almost above 3 years, and they're printing so much money with that. A lot of the companies nowadays are actually moving from on prem servers to cloud servers, and Microsoft is trying to capitalize on this big time. So for Microsoft, I'll give it a go. It's actually the biggest trade I might take this week, this earnings week. It's the one that I really understand, and I really love the setup that we have here with Microsoft. I think they're going to do amazing. I'll go pretty heavy on this, doing calls. And yeah, let's get to the next one. Let's look at UPS. Now, UPS is important for one big reason. UPS is United Postal Services. They ship stuff. They're a service based business. They don't sell you anything, they just ship stuff. And what do they ship? They ship whatever the people buy. If inflation is going up higher and higher, that means that people are spending money higher and higher, and they're not slowing down. Now, this is beautiful. Like I said, I love it when this happens with a good company doing great before earnings, because now it's just prepping to go up. Like I said, if you see a stock going down, it's downtrending before earnings, that's like confirmation number one that the stock is going to do decent. Of course, the company has to be decent as well. You don't want to use that confirmation alone. You need a lot of confirmations to really be sure of what you're doing. So it's downtrending before earnings. So, like I said, confirmation number one. Now, let's look at the earnings before. We're going to start from July. So they reported 3.06 in October, 2.71. They did a little less. Okay. January, they did 3.59. Like, that's such a big jump. And yeah, let's just talk about this. So they did so good in February to the point where they jumped 17% because of December. Here we have December. People are just buying a lot of crap. They're buying gifts for their families for Christmas, like Apple Watches and gifts. They're buying so many things basically. And UPS was just working overtime. They were just printing money, making so much, and it clearly shows here in February's earning. 3.59, what a massive jump. Great. Now here, it's estimated by Wall Street that they're going to do 2.89. Now, I have a question for you. Yes, you, the listener. Did you buy anything online that you don't really need the past 2 months or 3 months? Did you buy a pair of shoes that you don't really need? Did your spending decrease from online shopping? I don't know about you. I've spent, like I usually do. So my spending online didn't really decrease. It might have increased just a tad bit. And if that's the case, then everyone probably is still spending normally like they did. Yeah, it's such a good trade in my opinion. Let's just turn on the WhaleFlow and see what's going on. Yeah, so it's pretty much playing around the blue Bollinger Band that I have here. Like, it doesn't get better than that. This is such a good trade. I give this a check mark. This is definitely a calls kind of play. And I like Microsoft more, but this is still a great play. Let's do some technical analysis. Let's take a look at the buy zones that we have here. We have buy zone right here. So it's below the buy zone. It's like that deeply discounted. Actually, let's just bring this down even more, because here we also have support points. So it is in fact in the buy zone, very, very at the bottom of the buy zone. Like, it doesn't get better than this. UPS is definitely a calls kind of play. So the whole purpose of this video is not to talk about all these stocks and dissect them. If you guys do want me to dissect each stock before earnings, I'll probably make that video tomorrow if you guys want to. Let me know. Write it down in the comments, give us a like, and let us know that, hey, please talk about this particular stock for the upcoming earning. I don't know what you guys want. You guys need to tell me. And I was just making this video to show you how my train thought process. There's a lot more things that go into this. I'll use some indicators, some price action, and few other things to decide if a trade is actually good. And yeah, this is just how my brain operates, and that's how I would trade earnings this week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one.